It's Sunday, January 22nd, and we're going to paint because I should paint, will paint, and I got a lot of paint for Christmas and I haven't used it. It's once in a lifetime opportunity that when I actually want to paint, so let's do this. Say hello to the dog. Oh, so cute. I got some new clothes yesterday, however, we are going to be painting and I'm a messy, messy human being. So believe it or not, I actually don't paint very often, and the fact that I was painting on this day was kind of stressing me out. The physical paints and stuff just all over my desk. It's a barrier in my mind and in my vision. I don't enjoy it very much. I knew this was going to happen, however, I still wanted to try it, and I was really hoping that something had changed. Usually I do digital art, and recently I haven't had time to, and by recently I mean like in the past year. I do have a sketchbook though, and I was super eager to fill out a page in it, or 2 pages, or maybe I wasn't going to use any pages at all. Honestly, I went into this having no idea what I was going to do. I have a tendency to forget that I made coffee, and now I'm actually having to reheat it. Great. Okay, it's time to get down to business. I got this easel, this portable easel, and these brushes for my birthday. I got even more brushes, which are really nice. I finally have a feather brush. My sister stole my other one and started using it for makeup. I need to find something to paint on. This character design sucks, so I'm just gonna paint on the back of it. Is it okay if I just use this as a... I don't want to, but I don't really want to go dirty a mug. We'll start with the watercolor pens and then worry about the gouache and actual painting later. I really don't even know how I'm going to film this, but let's just get this into the tripod for now. Okay. Wait, I need slippers. Oh, I didn't mean to throw them that far. Get it off the desk and onto the floor. Where is my sword? What am I even gonna color? Might be a bad idea to have my MacBook out, but you know, Pinterest. Let's sketch something, shall we? In the year 2020, I actually started a webcomic called R.I.P. Frog, and you can find it on Webtoon. It's kind of bad, it's actually really bad, and I did it under the name Killian the Frog, which was my old YouTube name, if anyone remembers. Eventually, I stopped drawing because the only reason that I really drew was if I was making comics, and I put myself on deadlines to make those comics and then never posted them. Drawing is something that I want to do for me. I want to be able to have fun with it without thinking about what other people think, and that's just something I haven't been able to do recently. I'd like to change that. That's partly why I'd like to get back into it, and that's why I'm doing this video. Let's draw a cute little flower here. This video did not start off with a good sketch, and I'm still coping. Hey, I never really claimed to be an artist in this video. I never claimed to be a good artist, ever. I do a lot of things for other people, and that actually brings me a lot of joy. It's mainly my art, and really the accountability keeps me there. It's not exactly for other people. I mean, I guess it's for myself, but I definitely want to share it with other people, and I can't really do that unless the art is good. So I was very dismayed by the start of this. I had to keep reminding myself, this drawing is a warm-up, and warm-ups are what a lot of artists do. Most professional artists have warm-ups. Sometimes I wake up and I can just draw miraculously right away. This was not one of those days, and it was very hard to keep my mind on that fact. I don't even want to touch that. You know what, we'll try. I've used watercolors before. Actually, it's the only paint that I've really actually pursued, and I really liked these markers. They were very smooth. That's it. That's all I'm doing on this one. I wanted to draw a dress, hair, so I drew some girl stomping off into the woods. It's not really that great. I'm going to do line art on it, because as I learned from the test, these pick up graphite. However, continuing my review of the markers, I have not gotten a grip on brush pens, so it was a little difficult. For the line art, I decided to use this pen that my dad got for me for Christmas. It's supposed to be really, really good. That's why he got it for me for Christmas. Line art is my favorite part of the drawing process. Not exactly for humans, because I never know how to shade them properly. I am a big fan of cross-hatching. The pen was a little too fine-tipped and sharp. It kind of ripped through the paper, and I was applying too much pressure, so as you can see, I switched to a micron. It was size 8, which is the biggest size I have, at least. I don't know if there's any bigger size, which I used because I was getting lazy and didn't want to do detail. I think I really need to work on drawing humans. The thing about coloring when it's not digital is it makes me so nervous. I spent a very good amount of time swatching these colors, especially since the ones I'd chosen for the warm-up were very saturated. Finally, it was time to start coloring. I went in with no plan, which is evident by the fact that I did a line across and then didn't do the same thing, and so it kind of got darker in the middle. Oh my god. I didn't even choose a lighting source before I started. I kind of just did the base color first, which I had learned from the warm-up. You gotta do the base color first. It's kind of common knowledge, but I'm an idiot, so. Also, when I was swatching, I just could not figure out the skin tone. Dresses are very fun to draw and very fun to color because of all the folds, and I love adding shadows. Maybe too much because I always add too many. And I probably did. I struggled a lot with the texture of the fabric. It looks fine, it looks fun. You know what? I'm just gonna say it was an artistic decision. I love shading because it's a bunch of little flicks, and now I have to go. Interruptions are the worst thing in the world, which is the problem about not having your own car and having to rely on your parents. I have no independence. At my dad's studio, and I'm going to paint digitally. Getting Procreate was one of the best decisions I've ever made, especially since I can't even highlight a study guide without making a mistake. I did a little sketching and I realized I don't like painting, I like line work. So maybe I should just, do that. But also I want to paint because this video is about painting. We'll see. Dolly, my iPad died and my Apple Pencil died and I don't have a block for it. The charger. Penny, this is disastrous. So far, this video was not going as planned. I'd realized that I liked line work more. I had only used watercolor brush pens and not even gotten to paint. I had gotten interrupted, and my iPad had died. But I found somewhere to plug in the charger, and I just started doing something to calm me down. Doing line art. Who knew I would actually enjoy drawing a landscape? You learn new things every day, and that's the fun of life. But I still wanted to go home and paint. Why am I doing this on one layer? Okay, I feel pretty confident that I can do something with this paint. However, I don't have a paint palette. And I'm gonna start using gouache. So I suppose I should go upstairs and finish the watercolor pen thing. Got my tripod out, might as well use it to time-lapse my cleanup. Being clean and organized is very important to me, and it's also very important to have a reset every time I come back from doing something. I'll walk away from a project and then come back and have no idea what I was doing before I left. That's what happens when I edit all of the time. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, having things on my desk while I'm working is a stressor, which is why I tend to lean more towards doing digital art and typing. But what I didn't mention, and what I will explore in one of my next vlogs— oh my gosh, the cat is banging against the wall in the other room. As I was saying before, the orange cat interrupted me by being reckless again. I am planning a video where I explore my love for doing things hands-on, such as handwriting things and drawing in my sketchbook as opposed to doing things on a screen. This sort of conflicts with that stressing out about things on my desk. And I'm sure there's an easy way to deal with both issues, but for now, it's a bit of a problem. Skills warmed up and easy stuff out of the way, it was time to use the gouache. I'm putting away the sketchbook in favor of using these, which came with the watercolor brush set for like swatching and warming up, but I'm just gonna use it for gouache. The thing holding me back from making this video about painting before was that I didn't know what to draw. But ever since I designed this crest for my fantasy kingdom, I knew I was going to paint it. This is the Kingdom of Flomas's crest. I haven't shared much of my world building with you, so I'll give you a bit of a rundown on what this kingdom's all about. Their culture and style draws inspiration from South America. The 3 types of species that can use the ripple, or magic, in a certain way, this kingdom is home to the fairs, who can see the magic or ripple in others. They can also see the ripple in plants, which is why all the fairs have found their way to Flomas, which is the kingdom of flowers. The most colorful kingdom of the 3 main ones. And the color of Flomas is purple, which you'll see in the background, and the background is probably what I should have done first, but I didn't want to do that because why draw a plain purple background when you could be drawing foxes and stags? I'm using the sponge brush as a napkin for blotting because I don't have a napkin and I don't really want to get up. Also, like, waiting for it to dry, that is... It's fun. I love how it applies. It's so smooth. I decided to use a flat and angled brush to get the background, and I also used a lot of water in order to use as little paint as possible. I somehow lost the round brush I was using. I found it. You naughty brush. Here it is. I totally botched this, and I won't have to do the flowers at each end. I'm not gonna do line art today. This is so tiring, time consuming. I need to get better, and I want to get better. And this setup of picking it up is not working.
I personally think that the crest turned out well for it being my first time using gouache. Well, actually it was my second time, but it was my first time doing it in like 2 years.
The last bit.
Painting was a relaxing end to a day full of interruptions and storage filling up and iPads dying. I think that gouache is definitely the paint for me. So in conclusion, I don't think that I'm afraid to try new things and mediums anymore because I might just enjoy them, even though I was stressed at the beginning.
This is the original. This is my weird rendition of it. I'm really proud of myself, guys. This was so fun. I actually really like painting, and I realized that I really like line art. Art is something that personally brings me a lot of joy. That's all. Atlas out.